Of the once mighty 5 tiger generals, only Zhao Zilong remains, a lone, aging warrior. His sworn brothers are now nothing more than cold tablets in a shrine. After Liu Bei's death, Zhuge Liang, honoring the late emperor's will, swears to launch a northern expedition to unite the land. By now, Zhao Zilong's hair is white with age, his glory fading. Everyone believes he is too old for battle, that he should retire before a defeat tarnishes his legendary name. Even Zhuge Liang advises him to stay behind, but Zhao Zilong refuses. He tells Zhuge Liang, "This old soldier has fought for so long his memories have grown faint. What was lost on the battlefield, I must find again on the battlefield." He will not spend his final years clinging to the hollow title of ever-victorious general. He will shed his last drop of blood for his country. Moved by his resolve, Zhuge Liang relents, appointing him as the vanguard of the northern expedition. He assigns Guan Xing, son of Guan Yu, and Zhang Bao, son of Zhang Fei, as his deputies. Before departing, Zhuge Liang gives Zhao Zilong 2 silk pouches, instructing him to open them when he reaches a fork in the road or faces danger. On the eve of his departure, Zhao Zilong visits the shrine, his eyes filled with the weight of time and unyielding determination. There, he reunites with his old brother, Luo Pingyan. 30 years have passed. Zilong is now a legendary general, while Luo remains an obscure mid-ranking officer, forgotten by history. Luo Pingyan smiles bitterly and says he is the slowest climber in Zhao's army. But he begs Zilong for one last chance to stand by his side in this final battle. Zilong gladly agrees, and the 2 brothers set off side by side on the northern expedition. When the army reaches a fork in the road, Zilong opens the first silk pouch. Zhuge Liang's strategy is to split their forces. Zilong will lead a small detachment through a treacherous path to draw the enemy's main force, while Guanxing and Zhang Bao will take the main army along the safer route to seize the 6 commanderies of Wei. It is a brilliant feint, but fate plays a cruel joke. Cao Ying's tactics are ruthless. She first uses Han De's 4 sons as pawns in a war of attrition. The 4 brothers challenge Zilong one after another in single combat. Though Zilong's skills remain unmatched, he slays all 4. Each battle drains his aging body. Han De, heartbroken by the loss of his sons, has no choice but to retreat for the greater cause. As Zilong's forces enter the rugged mountain pass, they are ambushed by a devastating barrage of arrows and fire. The enemy knows their route all too well. There is a traitor among the Shu ranks. Outnumbered and surrounded on 3 sides, Zilong orders a retreat to the only defensible position. Fengming Mountain, the very place where decades earlier he had risen to fame as the ever-victorious general. Now, in the twilight of his life, he is forced back to where it all began. History has tied itself into a deadly knot. Zilong opens the second silk pouch. There is no strategy for victory inside, only a note revealing Zhuge Liang's true intent. The chancellor had known all along that the enemy commander was a descendant of the Cao family. He calculated that Cao Ying, driven by family honor, would fixate on capturing Zhao Zilong. Thus, Zhuge Liang's entire strategy was to use Zilong as bait, pinning down Cao Ying's massive army while he led the true Shu main force on a secret march to strike at the heart of Wei, the capital, Chang'an. In this grand game for the fate of the land, no one is indispensable. Zhuge Liang, in his quest to restore the Han, has sacrificed the old general who had devoted his life to Shu. Zilong, upon learning the truth, feels no anger, only a weary acceptance of the world's cruelty.
为何如此对我？
丞相用兵一向如此。
He turns to Luo Ping'an and asks, Big brother, all these years, what have we truly been fighting for? The Wei commander who has trapped them on Fengming Mountain is none other than the little girl who had once watched Zilong from the cliff at Changban, Cao Ying. Now grown, she is the Grand Marshal of Wei, inheriting not only her grandfather Cao Cao's unmatched military genius, but also his ruthless philosophy. Better I betray the world than let the world betray me. She has not come to block the Shu army. She has come for one purpose, to capture Zhao Zilong, the living symbol of Shu's spirit. His death will shatter the morale of the Shu forces. Zilong's only hope is to buy time, waiting for Guanxing and Zhang Bao to seize the 6 commanderies and march the main army to his rescue. But Cao Ying had already seen through the Shu army's intentions. The Wei forces sent a small detachment to attack, and Zhao Zilong dispatched Deng Zhi to meet them. The Wei troops quickly retreated, bringing back the bodies of Hande's 4 sons.
看来我们小看了这位老人家。
都督，小儿一见，莫非没有命中？
兵者诡道也，躲着不一定有事，坐着不一定没事。中箭与否，很快便会知晓。将军一家为大魏立了多少汗马功劳，我当奏请主上，让韩将军之名永留青史。你失去了4个儿子，却得回了一个女儿。义父，
安得肝脑涂地，也不能报答都督之大恩大德。
To destabilize the Shu army's morale, Cao Ying then ordered her soldiers to return all the bodies of Zilong's fallen men. Zilong and his men understood her purpose all too well. Zilong sent Deng Zhi and Luo Ping'an to the Wei camp.
这是我们将军送给你的礼物。
将军说，当年在100万军中，你爷爷抓不到他，剑被夺，这么多年剑还在我们这里。今天将军替你爷爷来奖励你，小心用兵啊，不然剑又再回到将军手中。
As Cao Ying listened to their taunts, she swiftly drew Cao Tao's sword and lunged at Luo Ping'an, stopping the blade just an inch from his chest.
两军交战，不斩来使。
At that moment, a soldier arrived with a piece of joyful news. To shatter Zilong's resolve, Cao Ying led 4 soldiers to the front of Zilong's formation. She hurled a blood-stained banner at him. It was the battle flag of Guanxing and Zhang Bao. Cao Ying had already ambushed and annihilated the young generals and their forces before they could achieve anything. They had been wiped out before they could even make their mark.
当年，爷爷因未能抓着老将军而饮恨，今日，曹英倒想一试。
Facing overwhelming odds, Zilong did not retreat. Though struck by an arrow in the chaos, he refused to remove his armor for treatment. He knew he was the backbone of his army. If his soldiers learned of his injury, their morale would crumble instantly. They all knew no reinforcements were coming.
原来我们走了很远。
这就是你心中的版图啊！你记得吗？你说我罗平安要活在天下人的心中，可是你还说过，当我们在版图上杀一个圈之后，天下就会太平了。现在我们又回到凤鸣山，刚好杀了一个大圈，可天下太平了吗？
To avoid dying on foreign soil, the 4 loyal warriors chose to ride their horses off the cliff, launching a desperate, suicidal charge into the Wei ranks.
我赵子龙，生不能带你们做胜利之臣，死也不会让你们做他乡之鬼。四将听令，为国家光荣而战。 老将随后而来。
宁叫我负天下人，休叫天下人负我。
大魏国万岁！大蜀国万岁！
As explosions erupted, every last one of them perished in glory. The setting sun painted the sky blood red. On Fengming Mountain, only Zhao Zilong and Luo Ping'an remained. Facing Zilong's desolation, Luo Ping'an suddenly bowed his head. In a trembling voice, he confessed a secret. I was the one who betrayed you to the Wei army. I led you to Fengming Mountain. They promised to make me a high-ranking general in Wei. I'm sorry, Zilong. I sold you out. The traitor who had doomed countless Shu brothers and driven Zilong into this dead end was none other than Luo Ping'an, the very brother he had respected for decades. Luo Ping'an sobbed as he confessed his twisted jealousy. He had enlisted before Zilong, and though Zilong always called him Big Brother, he had received far less recognition than anyone else. Decades of envy and resentment had gnawed at him like a venomous snake. He could no longer bear living in his brother's shadow. He wanted to take control of his own fate, even if it meant betraying his brother's life. Zilong did not draw his sword in response. Decades of war had long since taught him the emptiness of life and death. He looked at Luo Ping'an, weeping in shame, and said he had never truly been an ever-victorious general. Fate had long since decided their endings. What was the use of clinging to anything? He forgave Luo Ping'an, forgiving this broken man, twisted by the chaos of the world and his own jealousy. The final battle had arrived. The Wei army below sounded the charge. Zhao Zilong stood and spoke the film's most heart-wrenching line to Luo Ping'an. Big brother, remove my armor. It's time for me to complete my final duty. He shed the heavy armor that symbolized both his glory and his shackles, as if casting off the burdens of a lifetime. The weight of his country, the legend of the ever-victorious general. He became once more the nameless youth from Changshan, with nothing to his name. Zilong gripped his spear and said to Luo Ping'an, Beat the drum for me one last time." As Luo Pingan struck the war drum, his blows heavy with tears and regret, Zhao Zilong mounted his horse. The wind howled, whipping up a blizzard, and his white hair danced in the storm. With a thunderous roar, Zhao Zilong charged alone on horseback, a solitary bolt of lightning hurtling into the abyss of the Wei army. Hundreds of thousands strong, a sea of black surging like storm clouds. In Cao Ying's stunned and reverent gaze, the old general's figure collided violently with the endless tide of soldiers, dissolving into the most dazzling, heartbreaking crescendo in the river of history. As the film draws to a close, a somber narration echoes over the wind.
那是我最后一次见到子龙。三国终于统一了，但国号不是魏，不是吴，更不是蜀，而是晋。古今多少事，都付笑谈中。
The map, once carrying the dreams of Luo Pingan and Zhao Zilong, slowly crumbles into dust. This is the story of three kingdoms, Resurrection of the Dragon, a bold, fate-laden reimagining of the classic tale. The film does not slavishly follow the historical narrative of romance of the three kingdoms. Instead, it weaves a haunting, circular motif throughout, a circle. Zhao Zilong rose to fame at Fengming Mountain, and it was at Fengming Mountain that he met his end. Luo Pingan dreamed of drawing a grand circle on the map to bring honor to their homeland, only to find that after all their struggles, they had merely traced an absurd, futile loop on fate's chessboard. What makes this film so deeply moving is not just the twilight of a hero lost in a changing world, but its deconstruction of the myth of the ever-victorious general. Zhao Zilong's greatness does not lie in an unblemished record of victories. It lies in his ability to face abandonment by his country and betrayal by his brother, to confront a hopeless, predetermined defeat and still remove his armor with calm resolve. In his final charge, he strips away all titles and illusions, embracing his purest self, a warrior defying fate with his last breath. He transcends life and death, seizing control of his own destiny. In the chaos of the era, who truly determines the rise and fall of empires? Cao Cao's brilliance, Zhuge Liang's devotion, Zhao Zilong's unyielding loyalty, all eventually fade into the dust of history. The world unites under the Jin dynasty, as if mocking the futile struggles and spilled blood of an entire generation of heroes. Yet, even though the ending was always written, the lives that burned for ideals, for faith, for the bond of brotherhood continue to resonate through the centuries, shaking our souls to the core. If you've ever felt crushed by life's weight, if you've ever grappled with the chasm between dreams and reality, remember the old general on Fengming Mountain. Remember the man who cast off his heavy armor and charged into an army of thousands. Perhaps the meaning of life is not in winning or losing, but in the courage to complete your own great circle, no matter the cost.
来将可留姓名，常山赵子龙。
我的命运在自己手中。